देवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते
ॐ
वासुदेवाय।
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवयात् भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः हरे कृष्ण So we were discussing Srimad Bhagavatam chapter 3. So until now what happened is first we discussed about the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. How Srimad Bhagavatam came about is Srimad Bhagavatam was discussed among the sages of Naimisharanya. These sages wanted to do 1,000 years or 1,000 years of sacrifice for the betterment of all the human society. And but they, because it is the starting of Kali Yuga, and they were not sure about the result, because it is like doing experiments. So in the experiments, sometimes we can get desired output, sometimes we may not get. So in the same way, this sacrifice also for the sages, it is like a something they are not sure of result. So now what happened? There was Sutta Goswami in the assembly. Sutta Goswami uh, is expert in all the Puranas. So all the sages they asked him to recite Srimad Bhagavatam. So their understanding was, even if the sacrifice doesn't give any result, but the Srimad Bhagavatam recitation will give the benefit. So it is, that's why this then Sutta Goswami started speaking. Then Sutta Goswami glorifies Srimad Bhagavatam, saying that it is Amala Purana, means it is the subject matter for the Paramahamsa, the greatest of the personal mankind. And then he says how Srimad Bhagavatam rejects all the cheating religions, means it doesn't settle anything for lesser value. It gives the highest validation, means like what is the best thing that we can achieve in life is nothing material. It's even in the spiritual world also. It gives the highest thing is like Krishna Prema. Uh, and finally, he glorifies about the taste of Srimad Bhagavatam. And finally, the sages ask 6 questions to Sutta Goswami, and they say people in Kali Yuga are very short-lived. They don't have time for all the Vedas and Upanishads and all the Vedic study. So just give the ultimate, what is the ultimate good of all the people? What is, which will give ultimate benefit for all the people? And what is the essence of all the scriptures? They don't have time to go in each and every scripture. There are thousands of Upanishads and 4 Vedas, Puranas, and all those things are there. They will not have time. If you see our lifestyle, we don't have time for here 1 hour for knowing about ourselves. So, and they are about what is the purpose of Krishna's appearance and Krishna's avatars, and finally about what, where did the Dharma took shelter when Krishna went back to Godhead. Then in the answer, like sage started glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he first of all, uh, they also asked like about Srimad Bhagavatam, right? They are, then in order to set the stage, in order to start the recitation, he says about Shukadeva Goswami, who was the guru of Sutta Goswami. Okay, he is the, this person is there, right, sitting and giving class to so many sages. He is called Sutta Goswami, and his guru is Shukadeva Goswami. And Shukadeva Goswami, he is the son of Vyasadeva, and he he actually stayed in his mother's womb for 16 years, and after 16 years he took birth, and then after taking birth immediately he started walking away from home because he is so detached. Finally, Vyasa brings him back again, teaches all the Vedas and Puranas, and finally he is already very exalted devotee. So he explains about his story, how he was not disturbed by the externals of this world, and he was like he doesn't care about all the external things. He doesn't even cover his body. He just always meditates on Krishna, and he never stops in one place. He always goes from one place to another place. It is said that he only stops in a place the time it takes to milk a cow, because he for sometimes when he feels hungry, then he goes to somewhere, any farmer where even he is milking cows, and when he milks the cow, he takes the milk, and then that's all his food. Then he just keep his journey like and he is totally fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So like that, he glorifies Shukadev Goswami, and then finally he glorifies all the subject matters covered in Srimad Bhagavatam, and glory of topmost worship, like how Lord Krishna has to be worshipped. Lord Krishna is the Vasudeva Paraveda, Vasudeva Paramaka, Vasudeva Parayoga, Vasudeva Parakriya, Vasudeva Param Jnanam, Vasudeva Param Tapaha, Vasudeva Paro Dharma, Vasudeva Parakatihi. So then finally he recites this verse saying that Lord Krishna is everything. He is his work, his knowledge, his dharma, his austerity, his tapasya, his kriya, and his yajna, his knowledge, his everything. Means if we realize whatever we are doing, if we do everything as with such a dedication, such a sacred feeling that I am doing this for Krishna, then that will lead to the ultimate perfection. So here, Sudha Goswami highlights that. And then he started speaking about the when the sages asked, right, what are different incarnations of Krishna. In this chapter 1.3, uh, he describes about different incarnations of Krishna. So what are the roles of Purushavaras, what are 22 incarnations, and how Krishna is the source of innumerable incarnations, and material forms of Lord and Jiva are imaginary, how, and some glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, you are following. It's a first class, right? So yeah, that's why I gave a short overview what has happened. So now Sutta Goswami is answering the questions of the sages of Naimisharanya. You all got to the context, right? All the sages of Naimisharanya sitting together, and they are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Sutta Goswami. Sutta Goswami first glorifies his guru, Shukadev Goswami. We saw, right, that person who is going without clothes. And then he started answering the questions asked by the sages. So one of the question was, what are the different uh, incarnations of Krishna? And for that, Sutta Goswami is going to answer it. First of all, Lord Krishna has three main features. वदन्ति तत्त्वविदस्तत्त्वं विज्ञानमद्वयं ब्रह्मेति परमात्मेति भगवानेति शब्दते. Means Bhagavan, Krishna has three features. As a supreme personality of Godhead, he is in his own abode. What is his abode? Is called Golok Vrindavan or Vaikuntha Lokas. So he is in his own abode, just like we have earthly planet, right? He has his own planet. He is called Golok Vrindavan. He always stays in Golok Vrindavan, but he expands himself into different incarnations. So Krishna expands himself as different Vishnus for for the sake of managing the universal affairs. So Krishna is the CEO, and then for example, a big company owner is there. So he stays in his big palace, big palace or very costly mansion. And when he has to manage his factories, his shops, his offices, then he employs some officer, right? Like CEO, MD, like that, right? Uh, then that personalities they stay in the office, they get the work done, and finally report to that CEO. So in the same way, Krishna also expands himself. So, but Krishna is so potent that every expansion is same personality at the same time, different expansion. Means he he is situated in he is situated in Golok Vrindavan. You see here Golok Vrindavan. The picture. Okay, in Golok Vrindavan, Radharani and Krishna, all the Gopas and Gopis, all the boys will be there, and that is the original place. That is the original home of Krishna. But for the sake of managing the universal affairs, he comes to become as Mahavishnu. From Mahavishnu body pores, from when Mahavishnu breathes out, different universes comes out. From you see here, all the universes are coming out of his body pores and then from his nose and all those things. So this is called Mahavishnu. From after different universes. Universes means like you see this big Google. This universe comes from this personality, and when one universe came from his body, he enters into that universe as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. You understand? So I'm sorry, this is a little complicated. It might be difficult to catch it in the beginning. So from Krishna comes Mahavishnu, and from Mahavishnu's body comes different universes. All the universes comes. Okay. From each after each universe came out, again he enters into that universe as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. You see, he enters into each universe. Unless Krishna enters into that universe is not animated. Means like life doesn't goes into it. So he enters into that universe. He fills that universe. Universe is like a shell. Okay, they call it golem. Is like a universal shell. So it's like eggshell. Okay, he fills half of it with water, and then he lays down on it, on the Ananta Shesha, and he from there from when he is sleeping, from his navel comes a lotus, and that lotus, Lord Brahma comes up. So and Brahmaji starts creating all the other personalities. So Lord Vishnu is called primary creator, and Brahma is the secondary creator. Brahma you see here, Vishnu. This is one universe. See, Krishna comes Mahavishnu, this personality. From Mahavishnu comes different universes. See these bubbles. These are all very big universes. And into each universe, he enters as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Like this, he is a Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And from his navel comes a lotus. And the lotus comes Lord Brahma. So, and Brahmaji creates all the different universes. So, these are called Purusha Avataras. Purusha Avataras means the incarnations which Krishna takes to for the maintenance of the universal affairs. Okay. Then there are different incarnations of Krishna. Like he expands himself as Varahadev and Kumaras. You know the story of Varahadev, right? It comes later in Srimad Bhagavatam. He like one time this universe. Mother, you can sit up, no? Padma Mataji, sit up. Why you are struggling like that? So you can also sit. No, it's okay. You're fine, comfortable. So so when Varahadev was uh, when one time what happened, the uh, earthly planet went out of the orbit. Actually, one demon he takes Earth and put in the Kṛṣṇa ocean. So in order to save that, in order to rescue that, Lord Krishna or Vishnu takes incarnation as Varaha and then lifts it up. That is the Varaha avatar. And then he appeared as Kumaras. Four Kumaras is also expansion of Krishna. These four Kumaras are very knowledgeable. They appear as sons of Brahma. And Brahmaji asked, like you are my first creation. So what you have to do, you have to get married and help me in populating this world. But this four Kumaras says, we're not interested in marriage. We just stay like this. They appeared like a small boys and throughout their life they remained as small boys. And the next incarnation is as Naranarayan Rishi. They are not in sequence, okay? Just Shukadeva Goswami, just like that, he says that, okay? Naranarayan Rishi, and then Narada Rishi is also incarnation of Krishna. And then as a Dattatreya. How many of you know Dattatreya? Any of you know Dattatreya? Dattatreya is we'll get that story also later in verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Kapila Dev is, uh, Kapila Dev, Lord expands himself as Kapila Dev. He propounded Sankhya philosophy, means how to understand the universe in the form of elements. Okay, and Rishabdev is one of the incarnation of Krishna. As Rishabdev, he gave the valuable teachings. Okay, uh, and then Lord appeared as Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj, one time what happened? The In those days, the entire earthly planet was ruled by one single king, and that king he he turned out to be very, very cruel. So the sages cursed him and he died. After his death, all the robbers and thieves, like that Bangladesh situation is going on, right? You follow news? Bangladesh, that ruler went away. You see a lot of chaos is going on. Because when the king is not there, all the people will take advantage of because there is no system in place. When there are no cops, all the thieves and miscreants will uh, like they get predominant they they actually give a lot of trouble. So in order to save that, in order to re-establish dharma, Lord came as the king. His name is Prithu Maharaj. And in the another incarnation is Matsya Avatar. As a Matsya Avatar, in the one time, one kind of devastation happens. Devastation means like you see the pralaya, means like a lot of water comes in and everything is submerged in the water. All the buildings, all the towns, villages, everything is submerged in the water. But there is one great devotee. So, in order to save his devotee and in order to re-establish the creation after uh, this pralaya or devastation is over, Lord actually tells him, "You, Lord comes as Matsya Avatar and he saves him." And another incarnation is Kurma Avatar. Kurma means tortoise. So there is one pastime where the you might be knowing this pastime, right? Any of you know? Okay. So one time all the demigods and the Rakshasas, they wanted to churn nectar, Amrit, from the ocean. So Lord only advises him, like you take Amrit and you will become eternal. So, so these Rakshasas and Devatas come together and churn the ocean. So when they churn the ocean, they need this like churning rod support. When they are churning the ocean, that rod was going. They as a rod they use Mandara mountain. That Mandara mountain was sinking into the ocean. So in order to save that ocean, Lord comes as Kurma and he uplifts the Mandara mountain. So in order to know, like there are very nice past lessons from each of these pastimes. So here we are giving only just outline what are different incarnations of Krishna we have. Okay, and then there is Mohini avatar. After churning of ocean, nectar comes up. So when the nectar comes up, demons what they do? They actually at that point of time, the devatas are very weak. So demons will overpower the demigods and takes away this nectar pot. And they, but and they wanted to drink by themselves. Then Lord comes as Mohini Murti, and he bewilders the demons, and then he takes the nectar and distributes to only devatas. So, but in order to give the nectar, Lord comes as Dhanvantari. Dhanvantari is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, who actually gives like all the medical benefits. Okay, so medicines or no nectar, all those things. Okay? And in the next incarnation, Lord says comes as nursing avatar. You all know, right? Nursing avatar. Okay, don't worry, you will come to know nicely. We will explain about. Okay, and then nursing avatar comes to kill Hiranyakashipu, and and he makes Prahlad Maharaj the king. And one more incarnation is Vamandev. Vamandev, like one time demons actually they overpower the demigods and they actually takes away all the kingdom of the demigods. So in order to get that kingdom back, Lord comes as Vamandev and then um, he overboards Bali Maharaj and then gives the kingdom to the demigods who are the rightful owners of the heavenly planet. And Lord comes as Parshuram also. Parshuram is the most fearful incarnation because at one point of time in what happened, all the Kshatriyas they become very evil forces. Hmm? Kshatriyas are the one who has to protect Dharma. But what happened? They they take their power for granted. They misuse their power for the sake of self enjoyment. So at that point of time, Lord comes as Parashuram and kills all the Kshatriyas except he spares few lives, and but he kills all the Kshatriyas. So that incarnation is Parshuram incarnation of Krishna. So this is a very action episode. So one person against all the Kshatriyas of the world. You just keep on killing. So it's very you will see that later in the chapters. Okay. And next incarnation is Vyasdev because Kaliga is coming, right? Right now in Kaliga we don't have much brain power. In those days they say something, they will just retain it for life. But in this age, nobody will be able to remember. Cannot even remember a few slokas also. It's very difficult, right, for us. So that's why Vyasdev comes and he writes all the literature, so that now we'll be able to take advantage. So Vyasdeva, because of Vyasdeva only we are getting Mahabharata, we got Bhagavad Gita, we got Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads. He wrote 18 Puranas, he wrote entire Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is a Vyasdeva, okay. So he is called literary incarnation. Means this in this incarnation, what did God do? Just kept on writing everything. And next incarnation is Lord Ram. Lord Ram, and you know Ram, right? Lord Ram, he is uh, son of Dashrath. We all know about his incarnation. And next incarnation is Balram and Krishna. Krishna is the actual incarnation, original incarnation of Krishna, original source of our incarnation. That we that Vyasdeva says. Then next after Krishna's incarnation is Buddha incarnation. He comes as Buddha and he propounds atheistic philosophy. And finally comes Kalki avatar. At the end of Kali Yuga, when nobody is following Dharma, Lord comes as Kalki and punishes all the atheistic people. So, he will come at the end, climax. After Kalki comes, then nothing else is there. He keep on killing. Yeah, if you don't do bhakti and go back to Godhead before he comes, you have to go back to Godhead as soon as possible. It is said that this is a golden age. Golden age means the Kali Yuga is not fully manifested yet. It is only beginning of Kali Yuga. Yes, in the previous times, the family culture, the people are so truthful and so nice. But as Kali Yuga progresses, they become so like duplicious and cruel, cheating, self-centered. All the negative qualities will predominate. And by as the Kali Yuga progresses, we will not be able to tolerate the people. Everybody is fully selfish. They don't have any kind of good qualities, and they don't follow dharma. If you in the 12th canto, the symptoms of Kali Yuga are explained. Such a very gruesome, very very fearful habits they have. People eat other people, and their age is only 25 years means is a grand old man. Now lifespan is 100 years, right? At max. No, nowadays, nobody is living for 100 years. At max, they can live 60, 70, or 80 years, right? So, but in the Kali Yuga, maximum lifespan is 20 years. So, in 20 years, they take birth, they grow up, they get married, they give birth to children, and they grow old, and then they die. Within 20 years of lifespan. It is so unimaginable for us, right? So, can you imagine, like, people in Satyaka, they used to live for uh, thousand years. In Treta Yuga, 100,000 years. Sorry. In Satyuga, it is 100,000 years. In Treta Yuga, it is 10,000 years. In Dwapara Yuga, it is 1,000 years. In Kali Yuga, it is 100 years. Means 110 will drop off. So, for us, living 80 years, 80, 70, 80 years is practical now. So, as Kali Yuga progresses, for them to imagine, like somebody used to live for 80 years. How can they live for 80 years? Our lifespan is only 20 years. They think like that, right? Now we are thinking, how can somebody live 100,000 years, right? What? Huh? We cannot even imagine 100,000 years. For 100 years only, we are getting so much bored of same body, same family, right? So, but they used to live 100,000 years without any difficulty. In Treta Yuga, when Lord Rama was there, it is 10,000 years. In Dwapara Yuga, when Lord Krishna was there, it is 1,000 years. Krishna's age, when at the time of Kurukshetra, he was 81 years old. 81 years old. You see that, you see Krishna, when in the Kurukshetra, he was looking very young, right? Arjuna was also around that age, 81 years old. And that at that age, they are fighting. And Krishna lived 125 years and then he left the planet. So many negative qualities will be there for Kali Yuga people. We'll get that in 12th canto. So after explaining about all these incarnations, Vyasa says there are unlimited incarnations of Krishna. These are very prominent incarnations which are enlisted in the scriptures. But there are unlimited incarnations of Krishna and it is not possible for them to be written. So that's why we have to be careful when we are judging somebody. We might be incarnation of Krishna, we don't know. So, and whoever knows about all these some incarnations of Krishna and glories, then they will attain the liberation from all miseries. So after explaining about all different incarnations, Vyasa finally says, "Ete chamsha kala punsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrarivyakulam Lokam Hridayanti Yuge Yuge." Means Ete chamsha, all these incarnations. Ete chamsha kala punsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So Krishna is the Swayam Bhagavan and all others are incarnations. Like now I told the example, right? Can you say one cinema actor? Amitabh Bachchan, you told right last time. So Amitabh Bachchan has certain role in his family, but when you go onto the cinema to perform his role as artist, he takes different. In one movie, he is like a lawyer. In one movie, he is like a rich man. In another movie, he is like a poor man. In another one movie, he is illiterate. In another movie, he is a very educated person. All those things. But actually, those are all his expansions. His what do you call it? Characters, which is take for different movies. But who is actual Amitabh Bachchan is the that actor in his own home. Then after finishing the shooting, he'll take off all these costumes and then go home, take bath and be with his family. That is his actual position. So, like that Krishna also, he performed all these incarnations. But these are all his leelas. But when what is actual Krishna? What is actually the personality of Krishna is this Krishna in the Golok Vrindavan, like holding flute and peacock feather. See, any police officer, when they are on their duty, they have to wear uniform. This this police uniform. When the lawyer is in the court, they have to wear this coat and all those things, right? So, but when they go home, they take off all those things, then they wear nice dhoti and kurta, and then like whatever is relaxing for them, whatever is comfortable for them. The same way Krishna also in different incarnations, see Matsya avatar, Kurma avatar, Varaha avatar, Narsimha avatar, and some incarnations are very fearful, especially for non-devotees. But Krishna, when he actually in his abode as Krishna, he is the original supreme person, and all others are his incarnations, right? And it is also said that there is Virat Rupa of Krishna. This entire material creation can be considered as one incarnation of Krishna. And the jivas are also imaginary. The position of the jivas, all of us, we are also having imaginary forms. The forms that we have are temporary. So just like Virat Rupa of Krishna in the form of universal form is also temporary, and at the same time our uh, our character in this body, we are not these bodies, we are spirit souls, and we as a spirit soul we attain a body. When as long as we are in this body we have certain identities. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I belong to this family, I belong to this nation, all those things. So these are all temporary identifications. The same way, Lord's Virat Rupa is also temporary. But other incarnations of Krishna, they have their own planets. Just the way Krishna has his own planet, all the incarnations of Krishna has their own planet. Because every incarnation of Krishna has different devotees worshiping different incarnations. So like that, finally, see here I told you that Krishna and the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He is 81 years old now here. But he is always Krishna doesn't age. He always stays a 16 years old boy. So, but only fools deride when Krishna appears in this humanly form. Even though he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, he don't have to come into this material existence, but he comes out of compassion for all the conditioned souls. Because if Krishna doesn't come, then there is no possibility for us to get out of this material existence. Why we have to come get out of this material existence is this material existence is dukkhalaya shashvatam. Ante it means it is full of misery and it is if there is no misery, it is temporary. So, but when we meditate on all the incarnations of Krishna, then we when we understand their purpose, when we uh, when we realize them, then we'll attain liberation automatically. Okay. And finally, one more incarnation of Krishna is when Krishna wound up his pastimes and went back to Godhead. The sages asked, okay, when Krishna went back to Godhead, where did Dharma took shelter? Dharma means the righteousness. It has to take, it has to be dependent on something for its existence. So, like now, when Krishna went back to Godhead, then Dharma took shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is a literary incarnation of Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is, when we have Srimad Bhagavatam is, when we have Krishna with us, okay? So, literal incarnation of God, a cream of all scriptures, is Srimad Bhagavatam. So, that's Sutta Goswami explains about all the incarnations briefly, very briefly. But later on, from this time onwards, we will go deeper into Srimad Bhagavatam, into each pastime, and learn from different lessons from each section. Okay. So that is the end of this chapter. Anybody have any questions or comments? Any doubts? Okay, we'll end it here. Antara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Kota Vaishnava. Thank you, Hare Krishna.